Hello everyone, Maidus here, and today we are going to discuss stealth games. I tried not to include well-known representatives, but I will mention some of them at the end of the video. Although in many games, stealth mechanics are additional and not main, there are some games that have completely built themselves on them and feels quite nice. Moreover, they brought new ideas to the genre, showed in which direction it can develop. Let's go! The first game will be Styx Master of Shadows. In it, you will have to take on the role of one of the goblins. People destroy your kind, killing everyone they find. Also humans, in agreement with elves, control the world tree. They built a real fortress around it. You are trying to find out your origin, and there is only one way to do it, to get to this tree. The main character also has something of an addition to amber, a mystical substance gained from the tree. It is told that it can give immortality and other superpowers, but in reality it destroys the life of those who try it. However, the main character still gains new abilities after trying it. You can learn to create clones, become invisible, increase combat effectiveness in direct confrontation with enemies, and many other things. As for the last, it is unlikely that you will be able to complete the game, especially at high level of difficulty, entering into battle with everyone in a row. What is there to say? Opponents can lower Styx's health bar to 0 with 1 or more hits. You can avoid the blow by parrying at the exact moment of the enemy's attack, which is quite difficult to do. And in general, the game is designed specifically for stealth passage, studying enemy routes, location, and different ways to achieve targets. You can set up accidents, distract enemies, and lure them into empty places. You can hide in barrels, on ledges, and sewers. There are many kinds of enemies. Some can be ignored, some will have to be bypassed because it is impossible to kill them even from behind, and some can sleep on the job. And there's also poisonous spiders. The locations are also fine, there are usual halls, libraries, caves and laboratories. On the way we will meet several NPCs with their own story. There is also second part of the game, Styx Shards of Darkness, which added co-op, new skills, crafting become more important, improved the graphics and of course a new story. In general, these games are an extension of the story of Styx, who also took part in another game from these developers, of Orcs and Men, where the Orcs together with the Goblin planned to kill the King of Men to stop their bullying. But this is no longer stealth, but an RPG, so we do not stop there and move on. Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun transports the player to early 17th century Japan. To fight conspirators and rebels, the Shogun hires the best killers. You will lead a team of 5 masters. Everyone has an advantage in their area. One of the characters is designed for direct combat and carrying cargo. Another can kill enemies from afar. Another can distract, and someone can set up traps or climb on roofs. In general, each of the characters has about 5 special skills. Sometimes only some of the heroes will be available to you in the mission. After all, because of the plot, someone will have to be busy by other things. You will sneak into private palaces, listen traitors, and arrange accidents. In general, the game has a well-developed balance. All character abilities are useful and may be needed in certain situations. Another feature is that you can assign a separate action to each one and then perform them all at the same time. The locations include various villages, citadels, snow-capped mountains and ports. Enemies stand in such a way that there are several options to pass the level. After passing, new challenges are added for your playing, to make it more interesting to go through the level with new complications. Among the enemies there are ordinary patrol officers who cannot be distracted from their post, and samurai who will have to be killed by the strongest of the team, because they have good armor and protection. The plot is also good, various situations occur among the characters in the course of story and change their relationship to each other. Also, Deadbolt is worth mentioning. It is a rather old game, but it is very well made and nice. The controls are not wooden. You will play as a hired killer and kill the leaders of the criminal gangs. You can hide in the shadow, use the environment, climb the ventilation, distract the enemies and just shoot directly with them. You have a variety of weapons to choose from knives and hammers to firearms. Enemies are different, some can absorb an entire magazine, someone can be taken down with one headshot. You can take kitchen knives, knock over tables, shoot light bulbs. Everything is very well implemented. I recommend this game, although it is not as big as the others. In Aragami you will play as a spirit that can control the shadows. You can move them to hide in them, teleport short distances, and even make them take different forms. For example, a dragon to devour your enemies, or a snake to strangle them. The game has very good finish hits. There are many animations of killing enemies. Levels can be completed in different ways. As for the graphic, everything is fine here as well. The game currently has 2 parts. In the first, a girl in prison calls you to help free her city and learns the truth about yourself and the struggle of light and shadow. As for the second part, you will have to join the Shadow clan to protect your village from invaders who use the element of fire, just like in Avatar. Fire repels shadows, so it's not easy for you to make your way between enemies, and multiplayer was added in the second part. Party Hard. Here you play as a psycho who sneaks into other people's parties and kills everyone. Yes, the plot is not the strongest point here, but the gameplay turned out to be quite interesting. People organize parties in completely different places, on the roof, by the beach, in the house, in the backyards. There are many interactive objects everywhere. For example, explosive barrels, cars, various animals, chandeliers and so on. There are about 30 people on each level and you need to lure everyone into empty rooms, passages. Each of them can call the police and then you will have to hide. This game also has a second part where there is multiplayer for up to 4 players. Invisible Ink is a mixture of turn-based strategy and stealth. You will play for several agents. There are 10 total to choose from, each with their own skills. Your goal will be to infiltrate various corporations, explore the data. You can bypass guards or neutralize them from behind. There are various items such as smoke grenades, various fancy technologies such as the teleporters, the holograms of objects and the usual camouflage. Buildings have various security systems, laser beams, cameras and other sensors. You need to carefully bypass everything and complete your mission. In Monako you will witness the story of a small group of robbers who get into various troubles. For example, you need to save a friend from prison or find a way to escape from the country, rob a bank. The levels are made up of several floors covered with coins and various types of equipment, for example a crossbow, a uniform or a first aid kit. You can make your way through ventilations, quietly disable defense system or simply dig a tunnel straight to the target with one of the characters. Yes, there are several characters here. Starting are not very different, they just perform some action more efficiently. For example, someone breaks doors and saves faster, someone walks more quietly, and another has a pet monkey that collects gold coins instead of him. But later quite unique and extraordinary unlock. There is a co-op for 4, but you are unlikely to feel special stealth there, because your friends will probably run straight ahead and collect all the guards who are on the level. Well, those were the stealth games I found for you, but towards the end of the video I also mentioned some notable games in the genre that have become quite popular. The Assassin's Creed series, where you play as assassins from different centuries and can complete various tasks and explore a large open world while living the character's story. Hitman, where you play as a popular Agent 47 and complete different missions in different ways to neutralize the bosses. You have a bunch of different methods to achieve your goal quietly, but if something goes wrong, you also have a backup firearm. Well, the last game is Dishonored, which is, one might say, a full RPG, because from mission to mission you will learn new abilities and find new ways to kill enemies. You have various superpowers, for example you can control the behavior of enemies, teleport and disappear into the shadows. You also have a knife, a gun and other gadgets with you. That's all for today, thank you so much for watching. I have a lot more planned for the near future, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. I hope you all had or are having a good day today. Good luck to you all and see you soon.